Hello and welcome to another short episode of
The Sisters of the Sleepy Fiber. My name is Devin, also known as Rambunctious Guy.
And I'm Heather, also known as Tiny Kiwi. So, join your knitting and crochet, grab a pillow, and join us while we craft and nap.
Okay, so this is the second time we're doing this because the first time I forgot to hit record. So here we go again. What am I working on this week? I finally cast on for my owl. Usually with my owls, I am very bad about posting them, so I post them like the last day you can possibly post it, and then I like knit frantically. Well, this time I did post it like the day of, and then I didn't cast on till like last week. But that's okay. I'm still casting on earlier than normal.
Yeah.
So this is the first one that I did. So I'm making a blanket, and it's in bulky organic yarn that I got off of Ravelry. Somebody said they had it in their stash, and somebody said, there's an Amish farmer that lives next to me, and he spins his yarn, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, cool, fine with me. So I pull bits of dried plant and stuff out of it while I'm working with it, which I think is fun. So here's the big strip. On the side, this pattern has two parts to it. On the side is it's a two-stitch cable, but instead of the cables going one stitch always going underneath, one stitch always stays on top, so it ends up looking like a little zigzag. And they are, this is all twisted stitches. So twisted stitches will make it pop a little bit more, and twisted stitches use up a little bit more yarn. And here's the pattern. It kind of goes back and forth. It looks like wheat to me. It's just like a really organic pattern. There's this one column in the middle that stays out throughout the whole pattern, and then three offshoots that come off of it. I thought I would never get this pattern memorized, but I did, knitting it this many times. So that was nice. I ran out of yarn for quite the length that I want it to be, so I do have some more yarn that's a similar color to this one, and if I want to make it again, or if I want to make it longer, I will. I'm not really too set on what it'll become, like if I feel like making that strip longer by making a different pattern and a different yarn, I'll do that, or whatever, it's just a blanket. It needs to keep me warm. It's not a sweater. It doesn't have to fit. I don't care. I'm lazy.
I don't think that's lazy per se, but we'll go with it.
I feel lazy today.
Okay.
So, yes, you're right. It's not really that lazy. This is the other one I cast on last night. So I cast on for another strip. So when I say strip, it's probably like about a scarf's worth of knitting that I've joined together. So this pattern is zigzags, and there's one zigzag that's stockinette, and then the next zigzag stripe above it is not moss, seed stitch.
Seed stitch.
Thank you. Moss is with two stitches, seed stitch is with one. That's your brand new moment for today. So here's a little bit closer.
I like it.
Yeah, I really like it too. I had kind of that moment when I was looking at it where it's just kind of not too sure, but I think it's going to work out just fine.
I think so too, because I think you felt that way about the wheat motif too. And it looks great, so.
Oh, and total brain fart about the wheat motif one. I cast the first time. I've done that one twice now, because the first time that I knit it, I made all the pearls knit stitches. So it was twisted stitches on a background of knit stitches, which didn't show anything. And I was like, I'm doing something wrong. So I looked at the pattern again, and I was like, those are totally pearl stitches.
Oops.
Yep. So each pattern in this book that, so all of them are going to be, all the stitches will be out of this book. Each pattern has a different, sometimes a blank square means knit, and sometimes a blank square means purl, which is a little confusing for my brain because I'm used to the horizontal dash meaning purl.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes for this book, it's there's just nothing there. So
Yeah, I know. I find that's true of a lot of Japanese patterns, which makes me very cautious when I begin a pattern. I definitely double check it against the picture of the swatch.
yes, and I usually do too, and I just totally forgot.
Yeah.
Because, it was casting on late at night. Do I
Yeah.
know better than this? Why, yes. Yes, I do, and I still do it anyway.
Mm.
So, anyway. Oh, yeah, I was going to show you, let's see. Where is it? I was going to show you another one that I'm going to do. Oh, this one! And you had a really good description for this one.
Like a checkerboard with a lattice over it.
Yeah, so I think that one's pretty.
Yeah.
But there's also there's also just some really neat like wandering ones, and I don't know.
It's a fun book to look through, nevertheless, even if you weren't going to make anything.
Yeah, the thing I was finding was that like I'd had it for a really long time, and I would look through it, and I would never make any of them.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to like just get down to it and make some of them.
Yeah.
So that's that. The stock is in the same place it was last time I saw you. I think I did like another row on it.
Okay.
That's it. Your turn.
Oh, I have no idea, because all my crafting stuff isn't here now. I spent a lot of time in a whirlwind of crafts making stuff for the craft fair, and so now I have craft brain deadness. I know I made a bunch of earrings. Since they're not here, I don't get to show you anything. The only thing I'm actually actively working on is some fingerless mitts. And I'm not even sure I'm going to have enough yarn for them, but I want to use up this yarn. So, gotta make it happen.
There you go.
One way or the other. Even if it ends up being wristlets instead of mitts. But that's it. I'm not touching anything else at the moment. I'm just so wiped from this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Kick my tush.
Oh, the other thing I want to talk about is what's in the works for me. I'm still planning on the Totoro blanket. It's coming to shape in my mind. I went to bed last night thinking about the blanket and what I'm going to do with it because I'm a dork. And yeah, I think I'm going to do the body of the blanket in kind of like a fat bear shape.
Uh-huh.
And then, so then it'll be there'll be the hood on top with the ears and the leaf on top. And then I was trying to figure out, like, what do you think about arms on the blanket?
You could make sleeves, but I don't really think it's particularly necessary.
No, not sleeves, like, little Totoro arms for the baby to grab on. So they would, no?
Well, it's going to go over like a hoodie blanket, right?
Yes.
Then I don't really see that's necessary unless you want to actually make them sleeves, but because the kid's going to be on it.
I think you're misunderstanding what I mean by arms.
Okay.
I mean, or I am not communicating well.
That's okay. We're both really sleepy.
It could be that too.
That's why this is a short, sleepy episode.
In the monster blanket,
Mm-hmm.
on the corners of the blanket are monster hands.
Okay.
So they're like these stuffed, 3-fingered hands that are attached to the corner of the blanket.
Okay.
And I'm not going to have corners like she has the sharp corners because I want fat Totoro.
Right.
So it's just kind of gonna be rounded on the edges.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of those hands, I was thinking about doing like these little Totoro arms that end in like little claws.
Why don't you make it and then see what you think and see if they need it?
You're so smart. I could just do that. And then if I don't have time, it won't happen. There we go. Done.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
I accidentally just made a Mobius strip.
I love you. Accidentally on purpose.
Yes, I meant to. My hands are Mobius. Woo, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in this week. Sorry for the short episode. We're both kind of just tired and brain dead today.
Completely. Clearly.
We really appreciate you watching. Please stop by our app page or leave us a comment somewhere and let us know what you think. I think that's it.
I'm still not quite sure how I made this into a Mobius.
Because you're magical.
I am magical. I
Like
accidentally
a unicorn.
I'm
sorry, I
Mobius.
talked over you. What?
I said I'm the Mobius-icorn.
You're a Mobius-icorn!
Okay, yeah, clearly I need a nap. Sorry, guys.
And
Thanks for sticking with us.
Yes.
Show us what you're doing. Because clearly we're doing nothing but naps over here.
Clearly.
Nappy's time.
All right.